What's up everybody, this is Ven bringing you another MOC Spotlight where we take apart what you build. For today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Dagon, the great Leviathan, created and posted to our message boards by Jayfa. Welcome back so soon, wow. Now of course, before we get started, let me remind you of my method of reviewing, which involves a point system that is based on 3 fundamental attributes: the overall appearance of the MOC, the build of the MOC itself, and the concept and ideas behind the MOC's creation. Each of these qualities will amount up to 10 points, leading up to a final score that will be determined at the end of the episode, and please remember that this is all based on my opinion. So let's get this started. Alright, there is no other easy way to say this. There's no sugarcoating I can think of. I'm just come out and say it, okay? I really like this MOC. I mean, it looks awesome. It's like this menacing eel thing. And then the face is just so fiend-like. I can't help but be intimidated by it. But at the same time, I also feel some sort of respect for it. Like, yeah, I want you to bite my finger or something. It would be my honor. On a more serious note, it is very interesting to look at, and it's got a really unique color scheme that I'm a big personal fan of. I mean, these are both of my favorite colors, really, blue and purple. Well, not really blue, it's more like azure, but still. And black is also a fairly prominent color in the MOC, but really the 2 dominant colors are the azure and the purple. And I especially love the way that these colors were implemented to look like one color is blending into another. The azure blends into the purple kind of blends into the black, until we get to the very end of the tail where it just suddenly starts becoming purple again. So that sort of breaks up the scheming, but it still looks good. And another reason why I like this is because it makes it look like the colors are becoming darker as we progress towards the tail as well. Like you can see even on the head there's a brighter purple up here. And then as soon as we get towards the midsection, that's when all the purples become a lot darker and a lot more saturated. With the way this is all pulled off, especially with the fins and all, gosh, these look good. It pulls off a really natural and kind of a realistic appearance. Like this looks like some sort of exotic fish that I could actually find deep within the ocean. But this thing would be like the most evil fish ever. I mean, just look at it again. Look at that face and all the spikiness on it. Like this thing kind of screams beautiful evil in a way. Now in terms of structure, the build of this MOC is actually pretty complex, and I find it to be rather interesting. It uses both system and CCBS elements kind of seamlessly put together to make for this rather smooth aesthetic that the MOC has all throughout. Essentially, the CCBS is used to comprise the structural integrity of the MOC, while most of the details and the form, if you will, are made up of the system elements. And what's really neat about this is that the use of system becomes a lot more bare as we trail along towards the darker part of the MOC, where the purple turns into the black, and it kind of gives the MOC this illusion that the body is becoming a lot thinner towards this area, and I really like that. However, I do think that the area towards the head, really the neck area, the area that I would say connects the head to the body, yeah, this area I think could use a little bit more bulk, maybe some more system parts thrown in there, simply because the head is so big in comparison to the next segment of the body, and the transitioning between this and that doesn't really look that good. Now obviously the MOC can't stand up by itself. I mean, it's got no legs or really any limbs at all, and that's why the builder included this stand here. Pretty good idea. And with this, we still get to see just exactly how well articulated this MOC is. I mean, look at that flexibility. This thing can bend in so many different ways. Like every segment of the body can be positioned differently, and it's freaking awesome. And since the structure is mainly based on CCBS, it's guaranteed to have structural integrity. And so by now you might be asking yourself, what went through the builder's mind? What inspired him to create such a masterpiece? Well, I can't tell you the exact answer to that, but what I can tell you is that the builder went ahead and bought 2 of the same elf sets just to build this MOC, and I'm guessing this was intentional so that the builder could MOC with the parts from these sets. And I gotta say, I never would have guessed that this beast was derived from an elves set, or rather 2 of them. Like, this is such a cool and creative reinvention of the sets. I only gotta wonder what he did with the rest of the parts, because what we have here I do find to be very fitting of the name, the Great Leviathan, which nowadays is a general term to describe a large sea monster. You know, we have here, folks, a sea monster that looks like it could be large if the builder had 10 copies of the same set. I don't know, but no, I bet in comparison to a minifigure, then this thing would be rather large. So I mean, hey, it works out, right? This thing's a Leviathan and it looks cool. And that's basically all I gotta say, so we can go ahead and move on to the scores and wrap up this video now, shall we? In terms of appearance, this MOC receives an 8 out of 10. Now, I do really like how this MOC looks, I really do. But there are 2 problems that did bring it down a bit for me, and it's the weird skinny neck that actually does bug me more than the other thing, and the other thing is the random purple at the end of the tail, because it kind of breaks the illusion that the colors are blending into each other, like azure to purple, purple to black, and now suddenly black is purple without any sort of blending effect. You know, it doesn't resonate with me that well. But I will say, in terms of the build, this MOC receives a 10 out of 10. There are no visible functions or play features or anything like that, but man, does this MOC make up for it just by being a really cool and well-built figure. And in terms of the concept, this MOC receives another 10 out of 10, because while it might not look 100% perfect in my eyes, it definitely looks like what it's supposed to be. Plus, it's a reinvention of a set that actually looks nothing like this thing aside from color. And while I don't believe that all of the parts used came from the set, it's still pretty creative and well done nonetheless. With all that said, we are left with our final score. That all adds up to a 28 out of 30. Great job to you, Jayfa. Congrats for making it back onto the MOC Spotlight in such a short amount of time. Wow, isn't that unprecedented? No, I actually really didn't notice until last minute that I was reviewing another one of your creations. So hey, keep up the good work. Keep creating something interesting, because the same goes for you viewers. All you have to do is show me a little bit of your creativity on our message boards at board.ttvchannel.com, and thus you will earn yourself a very high possibility of becoming featured on the MOC Spotlight sometime in the future. So go right ahead, create an account if you don't have one already, post your own MOCs to the LEGO Creations category, and you are set. So I hope to see you then, and if not, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.